everybody, and welcome to the latest episode of the Geek and the Freak podcast. My name is Emily, and with me, as ever, is my good friend Gray. Hello, Gray.
Hey, Emily, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. How's your week been? Well, how was your Easter weekend? Let's do that, shall we? How was yours?
My Easter weekend was amazing. We went camping. There was a whole gang of us, about 17 people in the end.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. So before we went, we were all looking at the weather forecast. So whether you looked at the weather, whether you looked at the Met Office or the BBC, it was going to be rain pretty much 2/3 of the time. And we said, okay, so we went on Friday, stayed Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, came back Monday. And we said, look, if it's really bad, we'll just bail and we'll go home, Sunday morning, whatever. It was incredible. It was so lovely. We had one smattering of rain, I think, Sunday morning, but I was all cooked up in my sleeping bag in the tent. So I was like, I could just hear the rain pattering away on the roof of the tent. So it was just so much fun. Kids, dogs, barbecues, Sunday roasts, just really, really good fun. Yeah, loved it.
When did you come back? On Sunday?
No, Monday.
Oh, wow. So you went Good Friday, came back Easter Monday?
Yeah.
Wow. So it was a proper little trip.
Proper little trip. It was really, really good fun. So much fun. Yeah, just we were all buzzing like, let's book the next one in. Like, when's the next bank holiday?
God, I haven't been camping. I don't think I've been camping since the last time I went to Glastonbury, I think.
I was going to say, I was thinking, and I think, because I know that you'll say, I think the last time you would have been camping would have been at a festival.
Yeah, it would have been, definitely. There's no other reason I would have camped. I don't think.
You wouldn't have. No.
So it's either a Glastonbury or a camp festival, I think.
Okay.
Like later festivals, we didn't camp. Well, no, we did, but obviously that then moved off to the Isle of Wight. But we don't camp at Isle of Wight festival. We just stay at my sister's. So
I thought it must have been Glastonbury, to be fair.
I still haven't bought a ticket for Isle of Wight festival this year.
When is it? August?
June. It's really soon.
Oh, wow.
The lineup's terrible.
Oh, no, really? Oh, God. Yeah. Is it all the stuff for the young'uns?
Wow. Yeah, and there's a bit of that, but there's like literally, there's always normally somebody that I'm like, either I haven't seen before or I'd be really excited about seeing again. And this time around, there really isn't. And it's a lot of money to spend.
Oh, yeah.
To go and stand in a field, stone cold sober, with all your drunk friends, watching bands that you're not really that interested in.
Who's headlining?
Good question. I mean, I guess the only one I can remember is Justin Timberlake on the Sunday, Faithless, I think, on the Friday.
Faithless would be amazing.
Yeah, but seen him before and he's dead. So,
Yeah, true.
And I can't remember who the Saturday night is.
You don't strike me as a Justin Timberlake fan.
It's funny that, isn't it? Like, that sort of music didn't really crop up in my desert island disc, did it? It's really not my bag.
No. Oh, well, that's a shame. And it's because obviously the headline acts are always meant to be the best part of it. But if they're not great, then it would be really good if there were, I don't know, 3 bands on one day, 4 bands on another day. Then it kind of makes up for it. Bands that you'd like to see. It would sort of make up for it then.
I mean, last year I was excited about Green Day and that was it. And honestly, that was the right thing to only be excited about. But they were so good that I was just like, I've had a lovely time. It didn't really matter. This time around, I am a bit like, I don't know. It's just, it's really disappointing.
Well, don't go then.
Well, but then I get to hang out with my friends and I get to hang out with my family. So it's just, that is one of the other reasons for going.
Sure.
But the back end of festival the evenings when you're the only sober one are interesting. Definitely interesting. Yeah.
How about would you go to something like End of the Road?
What? It depends. I think it would depend what the lineup was.
Sure. I just think. I can understand why you want to go to the Isle of Wight festival. obviously, but maybe there's other festivals that might have better lineups that you could get people to go to instead.
Yeah, I mean, the other one that we sort of talk about sometimes is Victorious, the one in Southsea.
Yeah.
And they've got last year they had a really good lineup, like Biffy played. And this year I think the lineup's pretty good from what I remember, like a bit more like what the Isle of Wight festival lineups used to be.
Well, do that, because then you could then just stay at home. You wouldn't have to camp or anything.
Oh, 100%. I mean, Zoe and I went one year. We went and did, it was only I think it might even still be a 2-dayer. Maybe it's a 3-dayer now. But Zoe and I went and we stayed here and it was
perfect.
Great.
Just do that. Yeah, just do that. May
so
as
we'll
well.
see. We'll see what we do. We'll see.
Good stuff.
Oh, I'm glad camping was good.
Oh, it was just magic. It was just
Were you drunk?
so much
Were you drunk
fun.
a lot?
I was.
Yeah.
Lots around the campfire and lots of, it was just great fun. The first night somebody made a huge vat of chili, so we had a veggie chili and a meat chili.
Nice.
Then the second, so that was the Friday night. Saturday night we all chipped in and did like a huge barbecue, and there was everything going. It was just amazing. And then Sunday we had a walk to the local pub, 40-minute walk to the local pub, and booked in for a roast. And then that was interspersed with scrambled eggs and crisps and avocado on toast or whatever. It was just and lots of wine. It was really good fun. Yeah,
that sounds good. That sounds very good.
How was your Easter?
Yeah, it was good. So I mean, I didn't really do much on Good Friday. Sunday I had to do a bit of work, but kind of fun worky stuff, so I quite enjoyed doing that. But Saturday I went over to the Isle of Wight. It was my niece's 21st birthday. I know.
I can't believe she's 21. Gosh, I first met her, what was she, 8?
Yeah, if not younger, I guess. Like she would have been tiny, wouldn't she? So yeah, she's 21. So it was so barbecue at my sister's. My mum was there. My brother-in-law's parents, my brother-in-law, my sister, and my niece and her boyfriend. So yeah, it was great.
Was the weather okay?
Yeah, weather was nice. We had a barbecue, but we ate indoors because the air was. It's been a bit funny, hasn't it? The weather. Like today's another example of that, where it's been really sunny, but actually the air is quite cold if you're not sat in the sunshine.
It hasn't really kicked in yet. The full spring bit.
Yeah,
the warmth hasn't kicked in yet.
Not at all. No. But it was lovely to see everybody. That was really fun. I did have not an interaction, but I overheard someone talking on the phone on the boat over that I was like, I've got to talk about this on the podcast.
Okay. Gray's earwigging section.
Well, so the Red Jet, it's a bit like they make you stand in almost like you're going on a ride kind of queue, like an S-shaped queue.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
and there was a girl stood like behind me in the queue, probably about 25-ish, something like that, quite posh. And she was doing that thing where she's talking into her phone away from her face so that everybody else can hear the other end of the conversation as well.
Were they on loudspeaker?
Yeah, on loudspeaker. And I'm like, I mean, I never understand why anybody does that. It's just, for me, it's just repulsive, obnoxious behavior.
It's rude. Yeah, I don't want to hear someone else's unless it's really interesting. So I think she probably was talking to employees of the business that she worked in. It wasn't very clear what that was. But my God, I mean, I'm very lucky. Like the business I work in, people talk really well to one another. Interactions are good. Okay.
The way that she spoke to people that I'm guessing she line managed was just unbelievable. It was just, she was so awful. And she was leaving. She wasn't having many kind of like direct conversations with people. She was leaving like voice, I guess, like on WhatsApp, like voice note messages. And then she was playing back the voice notes that she was getting back on loudspeaker, so everybody could hear both sides of the conversation. So she described one of them as having sounded pathetic the day before in terms of the way that, and it's just like, oh my God, you're so cringe. And then she sat behind me on the boat so I could continue. Yeah, I know. I was hoping, I thought I'd get away from her, but she continued to just be horrendous. I think probably someone from the sailing community, I suspect. Not that I want to throw the sailing community under the bus, but grotty yachties, as we call them on the Isle of Wight.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I mean, some of the family are grotty yachties. They won't be listening to the podcast, I suspect. But
well, soon if they do, if I get a stern email from a grotty yachty,
you might do. You might do. Yeah, I think that's probably the sort of world that she existed in.
Right.
Yeah, oh my God, just horrendous. But it was tempered by having a lovely day with my family, so that was really nice.
Perfect.
What else did I get up to? So I played 2 video games that are like different ends of the spectrum of. So I played some Minecraft, which I haven't played for years.
What? Are you 8 all of a sudden?
It's really fun to play it with other people, and on PC you can do all kinds of weird and wonderful things with it.
It's just really blocky, though, isn't it? I don't like the way it's all blocky.
So it's the version I played was much prettier. So we're using mods to make it look prettier than it. So it can look. You're right. Like the base version of the game does look very blocky. This does not. It looks very pretty. So I played that a bit over the weekend, and then last night I played a video game called Star Citizen that technically isn't even out, but kind of came out about 5 years ago in like beta, and it's essentially, but bits of it are kind of a scam. Like people spend thousands of pounds on fake spaceships that aren't real that they can fly around in the video game. It's honestly, it's crazy. It's crazy. I've got a friend that works on it actually. It's an amazing project. But last night we were going to go and there were 4 of us playing, all going to one spot in our spaceships. I haven't played it for ages. I turned up immediately. It takes like 20 minutes to get anywhere because it's like a real space sim. It simulates like real space. It took me 20 minutes to get to this asteroid field. I immediately plowed into an asteroid and died.
Brilliant.
Yeah, took me another 20 minutes to get back to the
Good stuff. So what should we move on to next? Because we've had a couple of emails.
So we'll park one to the second half, but do you want to do the one from, is it Alan?
Yeah. So eventually, after much nudging, we have had some gentlemen emailing us, which is wonderful.
Oh, you look really excited about this.
Oh, no. I mean, any kind of emails are brilliant, but the fact that 2 chaps have emailed is like, great.
Yeah.
Okay, so
cool.
This first one is from a gentleman called Alan. It says, love the pod. Hi, Emily and Gray. I just wanted to drop you a mail to say I absolutely love the pod. I'm always on the lookout for something to take my mind off work when on my 50 to 60 minute drive home, and this is perfect. Love hearing you just have a good old chat, loving every minute of it, and eagerly anticipate the next sponsorship deal you tie up. Keep up the great work. P.S. The jokes at the end of the show crack me up, and they are what I class as dad jokes of being a proud dad of 2 and now a granddad. They have me laughing out loud in my car on my way home from work. Thank you. Best wishes, Alan. Thank you, Alan.
Thank you, Alan. That's really kind of you.
That's really lovely. And people don't necessarily have to email in with questions or topics. That kind of email is just as amazing because there's another person out there who loves what we're doing. We're making them laugh, and that's just brilliant. Thank you, Alan.
Thanks, Alan. We appreciate it.
This week's sponsor is Green Fingers Gardening, which is on Mill Lane, just off the High Street. Now, Green Fingers Gardening is run by Neil and Gavin, and their services include lawn mowing, landscaping, garden clearances, tree pruning and felling, shrub maintenance, and so on and so forth. And Neil and Gavin have said that if you mention the podcast, they will pop over and give your bush a trim.
I knew where it was going.
Front gardens only. They don't want
okay.
They don't want to trim back bushes, just front bushes.
Just front bushes.
Yes. So thank you very much, Neil and Gavin.
So let's get if you pop into their premises, mention the pod, they'll come and trim your bush.
They will come and give your bush a trim. Front bushes only, front gardens only. Don't want back gardens.
Amazing. Neil and Gavin. Is that right?
Neil and Gavin, yeah.
Neil and Gavin, lovely. Thank you so much, Neil and Gavin. I'm sure there'll be lots of people, especially this time of year. Spring has sprung, hasn't it?
Well, it certainly has, yes.
Lots of people's bushes will have become almost unmanageable, I imagine.
They certainly will. Everyone needs a good spring clear out and spring tidy up. Perfect. Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you, guys. What was last week's sponsor, Emily? Remind me.
Last week's sponsor was Jacob's Butchers, and
yeah.
they were offering £0.5 of fresh tripe. He had a lot of people going in.
Did he?
Yeah. Brenda popped in. She got her fresh tripe, so Lord knows what she's making in her pies this week. But yeah.
Wow, good stuff.
That took off as well.
I'm surprised there was such a demand, I have to say, but I'm impressed.
Well.
Thank you very much, Emily. Welcome back, everybody. Emily, I think we have another email that you would like to read out.
We certainly do. And this email is from Andy. Hi, Andy. Thank you very much for your email. Andy's email is titled Musicals. Hello, both. I hope you're doing well. I recently went to see War of the Worlds in Manchester, and it was fantastic, and it had me wondering. 2 questions. Number 1, aliens invade. What's the first 5 things you would do? Oh, can you tell he likes gaming?
He does like gaming.
Okay, so aliens invade. What's the first 5 things you would do?
First 5 things. I guess it would depend what kind of alien invasion we were talking about. Like, if it was like a really aggressive invasion, I'm probably getting out of the big city that I live in. I would just nothing.
Okay. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I mean, if it's just...
I'd bundle up me and the cats and get in the car and just get into the countryside, I think.
It's funny because I think I'd probably do the same. And I don't know whether that's because that's normally always a narrative in a film of an invasion of some kind, you know, whether you're talking about Shaun of the Dead or whether you're talking about flesh-eating zombies, people bundle up all their loved ones and get as far out of the city centre as they can.
Yeah. I think it would be really exciting as well, though, wouldn't it? Like they're actually being aliens, like that confirmation. I'd be interested in that. The little sci-fi part of my brain would be like, ooh, where are they from?
I think.
How did they get here?
I think I would certainly indulge in a little bit of looting.
So you're straight into being a criminal.
Well, yeah, because
what are you going to loot? I mean, you do need a bigger telly.
No, I'm not talking about that kind of looting. I'm talking about survival looting. I'm talking about... So if you think about the things you've got in your house, we haven't got weapons. You know, a kitchen knife is not really classed as a weapon against an alien.
So what are you going out and looting? A gun?
No, you're going to be wanting to loot things that are going to protect you, surely. You're going to want to grab medical supplies.
Yeah.
You're going to want to grab something, I don't know, something vaguely hardcore like an axe that's not going to need petrol, that's not going to need something where you've got to plug it in or you've got to charge it up or whatever. Do you see what I mean? I'm going for more of a survival mode, I think.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so you've fallen into, like, practical.
Grace just skipping about going, yay, we're going to interview the aliens.
Exactly. Do you want to be on the podcast, guys?
Nina's off into the countryside.
Yeah, and also rob somewhere.
It's practical looting, and I think everybody else would be looting as well.
I mean, yeah, I think it would be chaos in the streets, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know whether I want to be going to somewhere where there were axes in that sort of climate.
Yeah, but your local hardware store, they're going to have axes, aren't they?
Yes, but everyone else is going to try people will be fighting over the axes.
But people...
I mean, you are little. You'd just be taking people's ankles out, wouldn't you?
I would just have a hatchet, not an axe. I'd just have a hatchet. But yeah, people would loot for all sorts of things because they wouldn't be thinking logically.
Do you think there are aliens? Do you think there are any?
Oh, this is a tricky one. This is a real tricky one. There's got to be other forms of life.
Yeah.
Somewhere in our... I don't want to call it a solar system because I know it's way, way bigger than that.
Do you mean our galaxy, like the Milky Way?
Yeah, but it's so difficult. The whole thing is why haven't they interacted with us yet? I mean, apart from the fact they're just laughing at us because we're so ridiculous and we're so rubbish as a race of people. And we're just destroying our planet as well, which they're probably thinking they've already pressed self-destruct on that planet. We don't need to interfere because they're cocking it up themselves.
So I think probably there are other sentient life forms that are able to think. But I think like one of like two things are probably happening. One is maybe the kind of travel that gets you from A to B quick enough to make that practical just isn't possible. So maybe there is no ever any chance of contact if they're in another galaxy. So, you know, outside of our like Milky Way. There is also the possibility that we could be completely unique in the universe. Like that is possible. The circumstances that led to the creation of Earth and it being in just the right place in a solar system with the right climate, it's so tiny. It's so
I know
tiny.
that I can't get too into it because it just blows my tiny mind, and I think I can't cope with this.
Whereas my galaxy brain, which always has to keep pulling back to see the picture bigger and bigger, I love that until it gets to a point where you're right, my brain explodes at the ridiculousness of how big the universe is
and how much of we're not even the tiny tip of a pin, you know. It's just madness.
Oh yeah, and the fact that, you know, it takes millions of years for the light of the stars that we look up at and see to get to us to see it.
Oh, I know,
it's crazy.
I know.
Like all that stuff is nuts.
And I don't know whether I think that they're beings like you and me, or whether they are forces or
oh, what do you mean by forces?
I need to try and think of this film. These great big pod things appear, and they go into these pod things and they need to try and contact them. And arrival, yes. And they're not necessarily talking, or you can kind of see there's
that's a wonderful there. I mean, that is a wonderful film, Arrival.
It's brilliant. I love that film. It's really good. I've seen it a couple of times. But do you see what I mean? They're more like a presence, or what people might think of as a spirit or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, they are beings that see in more than 3 dimensions, I think. So they could see through time, couldn't they? And they gave her that gift of see. I mean, yeah, that is an amazing sci-fi film, that film.
And I'm not really, apart from Star Wars, obviously, I'm not really a sci-fi person at all. But I love that. And I loved, what's the other one? Is it, I'm going to get this wrong now. There's a guy who's trying to grow, I think he's in a space station in the middle of wherever, and he's trying to grow plants or vegetables, or it's not Matt Damon, is it?
Where he's on Mars and he's trying to grow potatoes, which is Matt Damon. The Martian.
That's really good as well.
Yeah, that is a really good film. Yeah. Yeah. He gets left behind, doesn't he? And then they have to come back to find him, to pick him up. Yeah. But he has to figure out how to survive on his own while he's there. It's amazing. It's great. Good film, that.
But apart from that and Star Wars and Red Dwarf, sci-fi isn't my thing.
Red Dwarf.
Bloody love Red Dwarf.
I did back in the day. What's the second question, Andy asked?
Oh, sorry, we got completely sidetracked there. That might be something we need to revisit as well.
I mean, firstly, apologies to Andy. I don't think we answered that question properly at all. But
we didn't, sorry.
It led us down an interesting path, Andy.
Okay, so Andy's second question. Do you like musicals? And if so, which are your favourites? Over to you, Gray, because I think I know the answer to this.
Interesting, Andy, that you went and saw War of the Worlds. So I can remember us having that album when I was a kid. My mum and dad had like the gatefold vinyl sleeve. You might remember it, Emily.
Yes, I do.
Because it was such a huge thing, wasn't it? It was so popular.
Yeah.
So I would say I quite liked that musical. I really like Hamilton. I think Hamilton's a work of genius. Like the songwriting in that is just on another level.
I'm yet to see that, but I'd love to.
I've only seen it on TV because Disney have it. So I've seen it on Disney Plus. Chris and I did a joint watched it together while Chris was in America and I was here, and we watched it during the pandemic.
Crispy, not Chris.
Oh yeah, we've been told off about that one. Crispy.
Oh, cool. Oh, I'd like to watch
So I
that.
love Hamilton, but I usually hate musicals.
No, that's totally fair enough. Totally fair enough. Okay, out of interest, have you seen the Elton John film?
Yes.
Okay.
Why were people
Yeah.
singing in it?
You know what? I'm exactly the same. That could have been incredible, that film, and the singing and the weird musical aspect of it didn't work for me at all.
No, I hated
Didn't
it.
work for me at all.
I didn't like that film.
Yeah. So for me, I like musicals, but only certain things, certain kinds, if you like. So
Okay.
again,
What kinds?
so when I was little, my mum and dad used to take us up to London to go for a meal, go and see a show. So the first musical I ever saw, which is still one of my absolute favourites, is West Side Story.
Okay.
And if you watch the film, it's just incredible. Natalie Wood, she's just amazing.
Is that the newer one or the older one?
No, the old one, the old one. It's such a passionate, love-filled story, and it's so heartbreaking.
Have you watched the Spielberg one?
No, because I know I wouldn't rate it. It's not gonna. I'd watch it,
Yeah.
but
It's supposed
nothing's
to be
gonna
quite
be
good, isn't it?
nothing's gonna be as good as the original. Like with all of these things. So we went to see things like West Side Story, Les Miserables, Miss Saigon, 42nd Street, and I love all of those old school ones. I think modern ones for me, I don't know. They just don't really. They just don't have as much magic and as much enthusiasm and as much sort of.
Do you like things like Les Mis and stuff like that?
Yeah, I've seen that live.
Okay. And
But the film was really, really good. Don't get me wrong, the film was brilliant. It just seems like a lot of times when people are like, "Oh, we're going to turn this into a musical adaptation," and it's awful because they just do a bit of script and then, it's been 7 minutes, we better chuck a song in, and it doesn't seem to work sometimes. It just doesn't seem to be well thought out. So for me, all the old classic musicals, absolutely love them.
Yeah,
But
I can't bear them.
but I knew you wouldn't. I knew you wouldn't.
Yeah, music. I think for me that musically, that's so far away from the sort of music that I enjoy. That that's part of the struggle. But that's the part I do really like Hamilton. I think Hamilton's that.
Yeah, I'd like to watch
what's his
that.
name? Lin-Manuel Miranda, whatever he's called. He's so incredible songwriter. And actually, the thing about Hamilton was it made me interested in the American Revolution. Like I went and spent like hours reading about it, and because it's like genuinely the creation of the American Republic is actually quite. I mean, it's not perfect, but there's loads of stuff in that writing that Hamilton did that's genuinely quite inspiring. And then you look at it now and go, how on earth is any of what's happening in America being done in the name of these people that wrote this stuff? It's just it's obscene, really, in my view.
And I think it's brilliant when something like that happens where you've been to watch this musical, then it's taken you right the way down into a little history rabbit hole, and you're just, brilliant. That's to me how creative things should be, how artistic things should be. If you suddenly go to an exhibition and you think, oh, I like that, who's that painting, or who's that painter, or what's the story behind that, as opposed to just going, oh, that's really interesting. It can just take you off into a different trajectory, and I think
it genuinely got me back into, not that I was ever really into, but into history in a way that I haven't been for years, to the point that we'll probably do an episode at some point about like our favorite podcasts, but I listen to the Rest is History podcast.
Oh yes, you do, don't you? Yeah,
all the time, and I've learned so much. I've been watching their most recent series about 1066. And they've brought that to life.
Battle of Hastings.
Yeah, but like there's so much stuff there that we didn't learn about when we were at school. So much.
No. Yeah.
And it's amazing.
I remember reading there's an author called Philippa Gregory, and somebody recommended one of her books to me, The Other Boleyn Girl. And it's about Anne Boleyn's sister.
Oh, okay.
And it was incredible. It was I love really descriptive things. So the way that she was describing the court, the hierarchy, the hunting, the feasting, the dresses, the everything, the way that it all worked. I was just completely engrossed in it. I absolutely loved it. And again, not all of it may be factual, but I probably learnt more from that book than I would have done bits about Henry VIII at school. It was just, it was brilliant. Yeah.
So there you go, Andy.
So there we go. So Andy ends up and he says, many thanks and best wishes, Andy. Andy, thank you very much. We really, really appreciate you emailing in.
Love those questions.
Yeah, they're really good questions. Definitely got to revisit the aliens invade thing.
Yes, I'm not sure we did that justice, but it did spark an interesting conversation.
It certainly did.
I think.
Off we go down a different route.
Emily, do you want to tell people where they can email us?
Yes, of course, I'd love to. As ever, I'm in charge of the emails. So if you email me, I will be reading them through and I'll be reading them out on the podcast as well. So you can get us at the Geek and the Freak pod at gmail.com.
Fabulous. And you can find us on Instagram at the Geek and the Freak pod and on TikTok as the Geek and the Freak.
Good stuff.
Cool. Thanks so much for listening, everybody. We really appreciate it. And we'll be back next week with another episode. Thanks, everyone.
Have a good week.
Bye for now.
Bye. Most people have heard of Karl Marx, but very few know of his sister, Anya, and she was an Olympic runner. Her name is still mentioned at the start of every race. Oh, Gray!
That took a while.
Why is this taking so long for you to get these?
I had a finger amputated today.
God.
I asked my doctor if I could still write with that hand. He said yes, but I wouldn't count on it.
Dad joke. That's one for Alan.
That's one for Alan.